Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to NXT May 16th, 2018 review. I went ahead and I watched this event last night and didn't get a chance to review it. I was really tired after watching the event. I kind of basically fell asleep, so I thought maybe I'd go ahead and provide you guys my thoughts and opinions about this episode. Once again, NXT hits it. They did a very decent job building little by little towards the NXT TakeOver event that's happening in Chicago in June. And I think it's going to be a great show again. I think NXT keeps proving once again that they're the superior brand on WWE. Why? It's not because NXT's got better talent than WWE's main roster. WWE's main roster has the same great talent that WWE NXT does. They both have great talent. They both perform with very well talented performers. It's not the talent. It's the creative ideas and way of thinking. There is no heart behind the WWE's main roster's creative, and that's through Vince McMahon and the people that work underneath him. This company has got a major change needs to happen very soon in the next at least 5 to 10 years. If that change doesn't happen with a new takeover of a guy that's going to run the company when Vince McMahon retires or walks away doing another project or just passes away from doing what he does as a person and life, then WWE screwed. The main embodiment of professional wrestling is viewed by WWE. WWE has been around since the 60s. New Japan Wrestling is just starting to get its name put out here in the United States. And it's sad that WWE, with the talent that they got, their value of in-ring performance and credibility that fans watch, don't value it as much as they should. And that's not talent. That's creative. There's nothing up here in the brain that these guys put into. There's no heart put in to the WWE's main roster creative ideas. And there's nothing really hard about it. There's nothing difficult to understand. Take political bullshit aside. Make it about what is real. What makes a person believe in this. Make the people believe in your product. That takes heart and creativity. And that's something that Vince McMahon needs to go back to seeing. Because that is what he used to have for his company. And that was because he was challenged for his own company. WCW challenged him. That's what he needs. He needs another company to challenge him the way WCW did. Get rid of this. Basically, all in all, it's like, you hear the saying, life is like a cycle, it goes around and around. That's what WWE basically did. They reverted back to the days when Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Psycho Sid, Bret the Hitman Hart, Diesel, Shawn Michaels in his early days, the Ultimate Warriors, the list goes on and on. You know the main names. And that's what this whole situation is with Vince McMahon's main roster, because he runs it. He makes the final decisions. He makes the overall what we see on television. And as we've stated, as any other YouTube person has stated with a brain in their head, has stated, this guy don't have it anymore. He don't have the heart. He doesn't believe in wrestling. He has come out and said he is not in a wrestling company. He's not a wrestling company. He's in entertainment. Well, yes, this is entertainment. But you are a professional wrestling company, whether you like it or not. And that's what he needs to view it as. He needs to view it as professional wrestling. But the issue is, he don't. And I don't think he has the love that he used to have for professional wrestling. He doesn't put seriousness into this. He makes it a joke. And that's why I, as a fan of wrestling, I don't want to watch a joke. Yes, you want to make it family friendly, I get that. But make it competitive. Make it with heart. Make it what NXT is. And that's what we got last night. We got heart. We got wrestling. We got storylines being built with heartfelt emotion. What do we got with WWE? Oh, Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles, which is probably the only good thing they got going right now that has anything going for it, and all it consists of is low blows. And Shinsuke Nakamura being jealous at the fact that he didn't win the WWE Championship. I mean, come on. That's all that we got going with WWE right now. In NXT, we got a heartfelt storyline that's kicked the show off with Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa was confronted by Johnny Gargano's wife. Johnny Gargano was extremely upset with the fact that this same guy that she knew that was friends with Johnny Gargano for many years has turned into this raging lunatic to do nothing but ruin Johnny Gargano's life and professional life. And that's all his whole goal is. And all she wanted was answers to why. But she came to the realization that who the hell cares anymore? The bottom line is Johnny Gargano needs to get back in the ring, and kick his ass. That's the truth of the whole situation. And he made some smarky remarks, really nasty remarks, basically saying, well, Ciampa said about Johnny Gargano, well, I dealt with you guys for many years, and to be honest with you, I don't even quite understand the fact that why you and him got married. He ain't much of a man. I'm more of a man than he is. And she's made a couple other comments as to the fact that she's more of a man than Johnny Gargano is, and she didn't take that very kindly and slapped him right upside the fucking head. Actually, upside the face, but you get my point. She didn't really appreciate the comments that came out of his mouth. And that's how the show kicked off. And man, what a great way to kick it off. Yes, it's been shown, it's been seen 1,000 times. We've seen stuff like this, similar, that has happened before. This storyline reminds me a lot of Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho, their second go-round in 2008. That's what this storyline reminds me of. We're including Johnny Gargano's wife in this storyline, but she's also a performing wrestler. So if Tommaso Ciampa happens to accidentally hurt Johnny Gargano's wife, well, it just makes even the storyline more elevated and heated between these two than it can ever get. In which case, you might actually see that. We may see Tommaso Ciampa actually have a heart and feel extremely bad doing something to Johnny Gargano's wife by accident. I mean, they could have an altercation, and he may try to go for a clothesline, and clothesline, his Candace, Johnny Gargano's wife. We could actually see something like that if that was to happen in the middle of that ring. And I think that can happen. They don't have to do a punch to the mouth. They could do a clothesline, and it's a little less, insulting in a way by him hitting a woman. So it wouldn't give WWE any bad publicity. It might be just like an accidental clothesline to a woman. So, I mean, that kind of thing. I think that could work a lot better than what they did with Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho back in 2008 at SummerSlam. But the truth of the matter is, with all this being said, this was a great startup to the show. This is what WWE needs to have. If you want to have a promo, have fucking heart to it. Have passion to it. Bring some realism to the show. Do something like Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart kind of shit. Anything. I mean, anything. Anything that brings any kind of realism to this. Knowing full well we all know it's fake, but to bring some reality into the picture, that'd be fantastic, because then we can make something of it. We can relate to it. We can say, hey, it feels real even though we know it's not. Something of that kind of nature. Tommaso Ciampa may be booed by that crowd every single week. And you can see he loves what he's doing. He knows what he is doing in that ring works. He knows it fits him perfectly as a character. And he plays the bad guy role so well. He can play a good guy very well too. He can do either or. He's an outstanding actor. He acts extremely well as a bad guy more than a good guy, in my opinion, because all he does, there is no emotion. It's cold, it's calculated, it's mean. There's no need for him to talk. There's no need for him to do anything. He doesn't have to hardly talk at all. His actions speak louder than his words. Johnny Gargano is an inspiring person. When you hear him talk, he inspires you. He makes you want to go out and do something with your life, like a Daniel Bryan. That's what makes Johnny Gargano a great face. That's what makes him fit the mold of a face, a good guy. When you hear him talk, you believe it. When you see Tommaso Ciampa, when he does what he does, it's not what comes out of his mouth that makes you believe. It's what he does that makes you believe he is the guy who he's portraying. But he has portrayed a good guy before, and he does a very decent job with that too. He can have class, character-wise. And even though he went ahead and he was having a war with Johnny Gargano at the last NXT TakeOver event, he still walked away with dignity. He didn't need to actually cheat during that match. He had that match somewhat in his fingertips of winning. And he went out in style in that sense. But the thing is, he lost his temper, kind of beat the holy... he didn't beat the holy hell out of Johnny Gargano. Tommaso Ciampa got his ass kicked after the match was over, so yeah. But that's the point. So, enough with the Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano. I think it's the best storyline going right now on NXT programming outside of Undisputed Era. I think they're the whole fucking attraction outside of Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. But there is something else that catches my eye. And that's Ricochet and Valentin Dream. These two guys are actually very, very entertaining. We had Lacey Evans face Brandi Lauren. And Lacey Evans won in victory in this one. Nothing to cry home about. Kairi Sane actually attacked Evans during the ending of their match. So that's probably going to happen. They're probably going to have a one-on-one matchup at some point, going one-on-one. So I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. We also had some interaction with Alistair Black, with an interviewer asking him, so Valentin Dream and Ricochet both want a shot for your title, and they want to determine who's the guy that's going to challenge him for it. And he was asked, so who do you think you would rather face, Ricochet or Valentin Dream? His attitude basically was, I don't care who. I'm the champion. I'm going to defend it against whoever is the guy that's announced to face me for the title. Whoever is across that ring with me, I'm going to defend this title and beat them. I'm a fighting champion. That's the overall consensus of what he said. No matter who it is, I'm going to defend this title until I can't defend it anymore, until someone defeats me. And that's all there was to it. Simple as that. Straight to the point. Alistair Black is a picture-perfect player. He is a guy that you could see making an instant success on the main roster if WWE gives it to him. He is definitely a guy that should play a heel role, not a face. That I do disagree with what they're doing on NXT right now. But, I mean, to me, I can let it slide because either way, it works to me. But in all honesty, what I would lean towards more with him is being a heel role. And a very dark, mysterious, not like Bray Wyatt, Undertaker type shit, but how he first came in. When he first came in, he was awesome. His matches to me were kind of boring. But then as he got more, and when he got more experience under his belt with having matches, he became more and more entertaining to watch to me. And he's definitely evolved from a year or two ago. And he's learned extremely quick how to be believable in the ring. He's devastating with that roundhouse kick. He is a fucking unbelievable character. I enjoy watching him every single night. And he plays a simpleton champion. It's simple. I'm the champ. I'm going to kick your ass and walk away still the champion. That's all I want to do. That's the way every freaking character that holds their belt should be like. No need for hoorah-rah bullshit. Just give me the simple facts. No need to make a big thing out of it. Just go in there and do what you do best. Kick ass. He plays that role perfectly. Roman Reigns should do something like that, you know? Not to mention, get rid of the whole I'm an underdog bullshit. Because that shit ain't working for me. He ain't no underdog, in my opinion. Dakota Kai, she had a visit from Nikki Cross. She basically cuts in, trying to act as an interviewer to Dakota Kai, asking her, hey, so what are you going to do about Shayna Baszler? Are you going to ever face her? That kind of stuff? You going to ever have guts to fight her? Basically antagonizing her and saying, hey, look, you know what? If you ain't going to do it, I will. That's pretty much what we're getting from all this. We also had Valentin, Dream, and Ricochet have a one-on-one match. I mentioned this last week. I said Valentin, Dream, and Ricochet are going to have a match probably next week. And we're going to see a number one contender match or have them face each other at the NXT TakeOver event and determine a number one contender there. Well, we tried to do that, but Lars Sullivan got involved. Match itself before Lars Sullivan was a very decent match. I was very entertained by this. This match did not bore the hell out of me at all. I think if you gave these guys a pay-per-view hype-up type match, I think they would shoot it right out of the water. I think they would be outstanding together. Valentin Dream has definitely evolved a lot. He is not the same guy he first started, and I'm very impressed with him overall. I think he is definitely a guy that you can definitely see that Shawn Michaels has played a role in this guy's career lately over the last couple of months. He is not the same guy. He has got some tweak about him that's different, and it is a very positive one. So, in all honesty, I could see Valentin Dream winning the NXT Championship down the line, maybe by next year. If anything else. But that's just my opinion. Tell me what you guys think about Valentin Dream, what you think he could be doing in the near future with his career. Because I honestly see him eventually becoming an NXT champion by next year. Yeah, so we basically later on that night was told that Ricochet and Valentin Dream are going to go ahead and have a handicap match against Lars Sullivan next week on NXT, and I'm pretty certain that this is going to be the main event. with that being said, I honestly think this handicap match is where Lars Sullivan's going to get his shot for the NXT championship. Lars Sullivan has been impressive. Do I believe he deserves a shot at the NXT World title? No. Then again, giving him a run for the title and not having him win, I guess you can do that. I mean, they've done that before in the past in WWE. You get a shot at the championship, but you don't actually win until years later. So, I mean, granted, Lars Sullivan is not going to be in NXT for another couple of years. I'm pretty sure he'll move up to the main roster by, 2019 or something like that. So, we're guaranteed to see him eventually win the title, but not anytime, right now. Probably, maybe by the end of this year, he'll be the champion, I think. And probably then lose the title at the NXT event that's during the weekend of WrestleMania, and then show up in April of 2019. That's what I think might happen. Kkona Reeves faced Raul Mendoza for a one-on-one match, and Kkona Reeves, I don't like him. This whole uncool, flashy, great-looking gimmick, it don't work for me. I don't feel anything from this guy. One, he's way too fucking tall. Two, he needs to put on a little bit more weight and muscle up a little bit more. I don't see this guy as this lean, average-looking okay guy with flashy jewelry and fucking... He looks like a John Morrison ripoff, only John Morrison pulls it off. This guy can't. This guy is good on the mic. I'll give him that. He's good on the microphone. But he is horrible. I mean, absolutely horrible in the ring. I watched this match again for the second week in a row and was bored the living fuck out of myself. This was shit. I can't believe they're continuing with this guy. I mean, granted, maybe I'm talking a little too soon. More than likely, yes, but come on, man. This guy is not hitting anything for me. I mean, nothing. It really is sad because he does look like he has a look of a guy that could be a champion at some point down the line or something that fits in with wrestling. Forget about WWE, just wrestling in itself. I don't know how the fuck WWE even seen this guy as this great wrestler. He has hardly any moves to him. He's worse than fucking Roman Reigns, for God's sakes. That's a pretty sad statement to say, but he is. He's that bad. He's worse than Roman Reigns. I mean, if you got me saying you're worse than Roman Reigns, you got some serious fucking problems in your career, pal. I mean, I know I'm just some Joe Schmo behind a camera here, doing a review on an NXT show, but my God. I mean, I've been watching wrestling my whole fucking life since I was a little kid. And dude, you are not entertaining. You can't wrestle worth a shit. Your moves are lackluster at best. It is horrible. Get a new moveset. Get a new gimmick. Get something. Because you need it desperately. Because you suck. You're the worst part of NXT right now. No doubt. I can't stand watching this guy's matches. He is absolutely horrible. We had Heavy Machinery challenging TM61, Shane Thorne and Nick Miller in a one-on-one match, or a tag team matchup next week, so we're going to see those two. They're probably going to be the co-main event, of course. But we had the six-man tag team match with Pete Dunne, Danny Burch, and Oni Larkin. This matchup against the Undisputed Era with Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong was a really fun, entertaining matchup that I believe almost went 30 minutes long. Great main event. The way it ended, though, I didn't agree with who won. Honestly, I think that Pete Dunn should have pinned Roderick Strong to get some satisfaction out of getting screwed over. Now, I don't even think... Give me 1 second. I don't think... Let me check here. Yeah, Pete Dunne didn't even get the pinfall on anybody for that matter. It was Danny Burch getting the pinfall on Kyle O'Reilly. I mean, the match itself was great, but I didn't agree with the pinfall there. I think that it should have been Pete Dunne pinning one of the three guys of the Undisputed Era, because truthfully, they've been rubbing on Pete Dunne for a while. First off, it was him and Roderick Strong together as friends, and he was defending his Pete Dunne was defending his UK Championship several times on NXT successfully, and then he was challenged and teased and bothered by the Undisputed Era at the time, and with Bobby Fish even, and you know, then he gets turned on by Roderick Strong. Like, what the fuck, dude? So, that being said, I mean, I honestly think that should have been Pete Dunne's victory and his moment to shine with his team. But he still ended up being the winner with his team at the end of the day. But I think Roderick Strong should have been the guy eating a pin by Pete Dunne because of what happened. But it's not a big deal here or there. It doesn't really make a difference. At the end of the day, it was a fun, entertaining main event matchup for an NXT show. And it definitely builds to something for Pete Dunne with the Undisputed Era. I definitely see Pete Dunne getting a shot at Roderick Strong at some point, one-on-one. In the meantime, I know that Pete Dunne won't be able to face Roderick Strong yet because of the NXT Tag Team titles. So, I could quite frankly see Pete Dunne challenging, challenging Adam Cole in a one-on-one matchup at some point down the line, maybe for the NXT North American Championship. So, at the end of the day, guys, I think that this show is very entertaining. Gave a lot of good entertainment value for your hour that you watch it. And if you haven't seen the episode yet, I highly recommend it. But anyway, guys, leave your comments and opinions down below. I'm getting a little tired here. I'm going to do another video. Hopefully I don't get tired off my ass trying to do it. But it's going to be a TNA one night only #old school event that I watched during this past week. I want to go ahead and maybe throw that in there for you guys to take a look at. If you have the Global Wrestling Network, definitely I recommend subscribing to it if you have any interest in outside of WWE professional wrestling. I would definitely check that out. Anyway, guys, leave your comments and opinions down below. Hit the like button if you liked the video for the NXT review. And hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to this channel. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.